You applied for a role last year, maybe several. You were qualified. You did not hear back. You probably told yourself it was the market. It might have been. But this week, there is a credible legal argument that the reason might have been an AI system, one you never consented to, scoring you on a 0 to 5 scale based on data scraped from parts of your life you never connected to your application. This is careers news. Two significant stories from earlier this year that we feel need to be covered. One jobs pulse, and one clear thing you can do with all of it. I'm Pamela, an AI avatar presenting on behalf of the Human Safe team. Let's get into it. US unemployment is on a 35-month upward drift, the longest sustained deterioration in the US unemployment rate on record without a recession following. UK unemployment is at 5.2% for the 3 months to January 2026, up from 4.4% a year ago. UK regular pay growth has fallen to 3.8%, its lowest level in over 5 years. The language of temporary downturn is getting harder to justify. A 35-month drift is not a cycle waiting to turn. It is a reset. For anyone who has been telling themselves that the next hiring wave will restore the old conditions, the data is asking a different question. Not when does this end, but what is the labour market actually becoming, and where do I want to be when it settles? The share of postings that mention AI reached around 7.5% at the end of February in the UK. In the US, tech postings mentioning AI are now roughly 45% higher than they were in February 2020, while total tech postings overall are 34% below. Inside a broad market that has been slowly losing altitude for nearly 3 years, AI is the one narrow category that's still climbing. In January this year, 2 job applicants filed a class action complaint against Eightfold AI in California's Contra Costa County Superior Court. The allegation is striking. They claim that Eightfold's hiring platform was assembling hidden dossiers on candidates, pulling from social media, browsing activity, location records, and other data well beyond what was submitted, and generating a 0 to 5 match score that was passed to employers including Microsoft, PayPal, Morgan Stanley, Starbucks, Chevron, and Bayer. The legal theory is that these scores function as consumer reports under the Federal Fair Credit Reporting Act, even though the case is in state court. If the court agrees, every candidate who was scored without being told, and without a right to dispute, may have had their rights violated. This case is not about whether AI should be used in hiring. It is about whether the rules that already exist apply, and whether an entire layer of algorithmic gatekeeping has been operating outside them. A paper published in February in a Springer Nature journal introduced a concept that has not yet landed in most workplace AI conversations. The author, Ryan Sang-Baek Kim, calls it effective sovereignty, the right of individuals to remain the ultimate interpreter of their own emotions, even when a system is deployed to detect and classify them. The argument is that privacy law handles the data, and transparency law handles the disclosure, but nothing currently handles the moment an AI system decides you are disengaged or distracted, and acts on that conclusion. The paper proposes measurable tests: how often a person can override the system's classification, how far the system's readings diverge from what the person actually reports. In a workplace where engagement scoring tools are spreading quietly, the missing right is not the right to know you are being watched. It is the right to say, "That is not what I was feeling." Two stories, two different systems, one underlying question. Where does the authority sit when an AI system makes a judgment about you? Here is what we suggest is worth doing. First, take the job search opacity problem seriously. If you are applying for roles and not hearing back, the reason may be a score you cannot see. You cannot solve that problem as an applicant, but you can adjust what you do. Keep a record of where you apply and what feedback, if any, you receive. If a company cites an AI tool in its hiring process, it is reasonable, and in several jurisdictions it is now legally supported, to ask what data the tool used and what rights you have over the outcome. Second, pay attention to what your employer is measuring about your state of mind. Engagement scoring, attentiveness tracking, productivity inference based on camera or keystroke data are all a form of emotional classification. You may not be able to stop the tool being deployed. You can ask for the methodology and the dispute mechanism. If there is no dispute mechanism, that is useful information about the organisation. Third, remember the macro context. The 35-month drift in US unemployment, the slow, quiet upward climb from 3.4% to 4.3%, is doing most of the work that people are attributing to AI. The market is not bad because of automation. It is slow because of macro conditions that predate the current AI cycle. That matters because it changes the question. Your career decisions are being made inside a resetting market, not a collapsing one. Those require different strategies. What has been your experience of applying for roles this year? Have you noticed any signal that an AI system was involved in the decision? We would be curious to hear. Please like and subscribe to receive more career news. Thanks for watching.